Hey, what's up gamers? During the last 20 years and even more, I played a lot of games. Some good, others bad, others forgettable, but some of them left a mark on me, the ones I can't stop thinking about even today. This is my top 10 favorite games after more than 20 years of gaming. Some are obvious masterpieces, others may be unexpected, but they all hold a special place in my heart. Now, before we begin, keep in mind this is my list. If your favorite isn't here, it's totally normal, so drop it in the comments because I really want to see your personal top 10. Let's start with Metal Gear Solid 2, released in 2001. It was developed by Konami and directed by the legendary Hideo Kojima, a man who has always blurred the line between video games and cinema. The story begins with the iconic Solid Snake infiltrating a tanker carrying a new Metal Gear prototype. Everything feels familiar until it doesn't. After the tanker section, you switch to Raiden, a rookie operative who is far less experienced and far more vulnerable than Snake. This shift shocked fans back then in a good way because it was brilliant. Through Raiden's eyes we explored themes of control, misinformation and even the influence of digital media, a chillingly accurate prediction of today's world. Metal Gear Solid 2 introduced elements like first-person aiming, dynamic enemy AI and interactive environments. Remember shooting out the guards' radio so they couldn't call for reinforcement? It's small details like that which makes every moment memorable. Critics praised its storytelling and mechanics and it scored a stunning 96 on Metacritic, but what makes it timeless it's how it challenges the player to think. Few games feel as emotionally charged as Shadow of the Colossus. Released in 2005 by Team ICO, it's a minimalist masterpiece that tells a powerful story with almost no dialogue. You play as Wander, a young man seeking to resurrect a girl named Mono. To do so, you must defeat 16 colossal beings scattered across a vast empty world. But here's the twist. The more Colossus you defeat, the more it feels like you're doing something wrong. Each Colossus is majestic, almost innocent creatures, and taking them down is both exhilarating and heartbreaking. The gameplay revolves around solving puzzles to find the Colossus' weak points and then climbing these massive beings to take them down. It's thrilling, but there's a deep sadness to every victory. The hauntingly beautiful soundtrack amplifies this emotion. Critically, the game was praised as work of art, scoring 91 on Metacritic, and its PS4 remake only improved the visuals while staying true to the original's soul. Shadow of the Colossus is proof that games don't need flashy cutscenes or dialogue to tell a profound story. Yeah! Chrono Trigger is the ultimate JRPG, and it's no surprise that it's still celebrated today, nearly 3 decades after its release. Developed by Square in 1995, it brought together a dream team of creators: Hironobu Sakaguchi, Yuri Horii, and Akira Toriyama. The story is of course epic. You follow Chrono, a silent protagonist, on a time-traveling quest to stop Lavos, a world-ending parasite. Along the way, you assemble an unforgettable cast of characters, including Frog, a cursed knight, Robo, a compassionate robot, and Magus, a tormented anti-hero. What's remarkable is how your actions in one era affect others, creating a sense of interconnectivity rarely seen in games. The gameplay is equally revolutionary with its seamless blend of exploration and real-time battles. The dual-tech and triple-tech attacks make combat strategic and dynamic. Add to that an incredible soundtrack by Yasunori Mitsuda and you've got a masterpiece. Chrono Trigger's multiple endings give it immense replayability and it's widely regarded as one of the best games of all time. Fallout New Vegas. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment in 2010, it took the framework of Fallout 3 and expanded it in every way imaginable. You play as the courier left for dead after being shot in the head. From there you shape your journey across the Mojave wasteland. Will you side with the New California Republic, the authoritarian Caesar's Legion, or carve out your own destiny in New Vegas? The choices you make ripple across the world, leading to one of several endings. What sets New Vegas apart is its writing. Every faction has depth, and no choice feels entirely right or wrong. The world is packed with unforgettable quests, from helping the boomers restore a bomber plant to investigating a murder in a casino, for example. Despite a rocky launch filled with bugs, New Vegas earned its status as a cult classic, and the fan mods have kept it alive and thriving.
Feeling thirsty? I can take care of that.
Now let me tell you about Ghost of Tsushima, a game that made me fall in love with samurai lore all over again. Released in 2020 by Sucker Punch Production, is one of the most visually captivating and emotionally moving games I've ever played. The story follows Jin Sakai, a samurai living during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima in 1274. After the Mongols nearly wiped out the samurai forces in a devastating battle, Jin is left with a choice: adhere to the strict code of honor he's lived by his entire life, or embrace a new way of fighting as the ghost to save his people. This moral struggle is at the heart of the story, and it makes every decision and battle feel deeply personal. The gameplay is absolutely masterful. Sword combat is precise, with stances and timing playing a huge role. You can face enemies head-on in honorable duels, or you can use stealth tactics like smoke bombs and assassinations. And then there's the world itself. Tsushima is breathtaking. From golden fields of pampas grass to snow-covered mountain temples, every location feels like a painting come to life. One of the most unique features is the guiding wind, which replaces the traditional waypoint markers with gusts of wind that lead you to your destination. It's such a simple yet elegant mechanic that keeps you immersed in the world. Critically, the game received an 83 on Metacritic, but honestly, the reviews don't do justice to its emotional impact. The developers even included a Kurosawa mode, which transforms the game into a black and white tribute to legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa. It's one of those games that feels like it was crafted with love and respect for its subject matter, and it's truly unforgettable. What can I say about The Witcher 3 that hasn't already been said? Released in 2015 by CD Projekt Red, this is without a doubt one of the most ambitious RPGs ever created. And yet, it's not just its scale that makes it amazing, it's the depth of its storytelling. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter or witcher, on a quest to find his adopted daughter, Ciri, who is being haunted by the spectral wild hound. Along the way, you'll navigate political intrigue, battle terrifying creatures, and make choices that feel weighty and consequential. One of the standout aspects of the game is its side quests. These aren't your typical fetch quests. They're fully realized stories that could stand on their own. Remember the Bloody Baron? That quest line is darker, more emotional, and better written than the main plots of most of the game. The gameplay is equally fantastic. Sword combat is fluid, and Geralt's magical sign add a layer of strategy. On top of that, you have alchemy, crafting, and incredibly addictive card game Gwen. Critically, the game scored 93 on Metacritic, and it won countless Game of the Year award. But for me, what stands out the most is how alive the world feels. From the bustling streets of Novigrad to the icy landscapes of Skellige, it's a world you don't just play in, but you live in. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Eurotruck Simulator 2, really? But hear me out. This game, developed by SCS Software and released in 2012, is the ultimate relaxation tool, at least for me. On the surface, it's a game where you drive trucks and deliver cargo across Europe. Sounds mundane, right? But once you start playing, you realize it's about so much more. It's about the meditative rhythm of the open road, the satisfaction of running your own logistic empire, and the simple joy of seeing a beautiful virtual sunset over the Alps. The game offers an impressive level of customization, from upgrading your trucks to hiring drivers to your fleet. The attention to detail is stunning. You'll drive through accurate depictions of real European cities, and the roads feel so authentic that they're almost therapeutic. Critically, it scored 79 on Metacritic, but it's grown into a cult of favorite thanks to a dedicated fan base and tons of mods that add new tracks, maps and features. It's not a game you play for action or drama, it's a game you play to unwind. Trust me, once you try it, you'll get it. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is an absolute masterclass in storytelling and gameplay, and for me is the crown jewel of the Uncharted series. Released in 2016 by Naughty Dog, this game marks the epic conclusion to Nathan Drake's treasure hunting saga. The story begins with Nathan living a quiet, retired life. He's left behind the dangerous world of treasure hunting to settle down with Elena, his wife. But then his older brother Sam, long thought to be dead, returns with a desperate plea for help. Together they embark on one last adventure to uncover the lost pirate colony of Libertalia and the legendary treasure of Captain Avery. The game dives deep into Nathan's character. He's not just about treasure and danger, it's about family, sacrifice, and the cost of chasing your dreams. The interplay between Nathan, Sam, and the other characters is so natural and heartfelt that it feels like you're watching a blockbuster movie. The gameplay is polished to perfection. Climbing, shooting, and puzzle solving all flows seamlessly, and the lush environments are feast for the eyes. Dense jungles or crumbling ruins, every location feels alive. Critically, it received a 93 on Metacritic and it won countless awards, including several Game of the Year titles. For me, Uncharted 4 is a farewell letter to one of gaming's most beloved characters. Now, I've played a lot of open world games, but GTA 4 stands in a league of its own. Released in 2008 by Rockstar North, the game is my personal favorite in the GTA series, really better in so many aspects than GTA 5 in my opinion. You step into the shoes of Niko Bellic, an immigrant from Eastern Europe who comes to Liberty City to start fresh and chase the so-called American dream. But things don't go as planned. Niko is pulled into the criminal underworld, haunted by his past, and forced to confront the cost of his choices. His journey is gritty, grounded, and deeply human. The tone of GTA 4 is darker and more serious than its predecessors. Liberty City is a sprawling, living metropolis, with pedestrians going about their lives, taxi clogging the streets, and skyscrapers looming overhead. Every corner of the city feels alive and the level of detail is staggering, even by today's standard. The gameplay blends chaotic fun with meaningful storytelling. You'll race through the city in wild car chases, engage in intense shootouts, and make decisions that impact Niko's relationship with his future, and the Euphoria physics engine. That thing made every punch, crash and tumble feel ridiculously real. On Metacritic, GTA 4 scored an unbelievable 98, making it one of the highest rated games of all time. But beyond the critical acclaim is the emotional weight of Niko's journey that sticks with me. It's a game about dreams, regret and survival. Last but not least, we have Indigo Prophecy, or Fahrenheit, depending on where you're from. Released in 2005 by Quantic Dream, this game was one of the first to blur the line between video games and interactive storytelling. The story kicks off with Lucas Kane, an ordinary man who finds himself committing murder while in a trance-like state. From there, the game spirals into a supernatural thriller with Lucas trying to uncover the truth behind the murder while avoiding the police. You also play as Carla Valenti and Tyler Miles, the detectives assigned to the case, which adds a unique perspective to the narrative. The first half of the game is incredible. The tension, the mystery, and the character's development are top-notch. There's one moment where you're hiding in your own apartment as the police knock on the door. It's so intense, it had my heart racing. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, quick-time events, and dialogue choices, and while it's a bit dated now, it was revolutionary at that time. It's one of the earliest examples of a game giving players meaningful choices that shaped the outcome of the story. Now, I'll admit, the game's second half goes a bit off the rails with its supernatural elements, but that doesn't erase how groundbreaking it was. Critics gave it a solid 85 on Metacritic, and it laid the foundation for Quantic Dream's later hits like Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. For me, Indigo Prophecy holds a special place in my heart. It's flawed, sure, but it's also one of those games that dared to do something different, and that makes it unforgettable.
Uh-oh, I'd better try to hide this.
So, that was my list. Please let me know in comments your personal top 10. Not an easy exercise, I admit, but very interesting. If you enjoyed this video, as usual, don't forget to like or even subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot, guys. Thank you all for being here and watching my content. Really appreciate it. Until next time, happy gaming everyone. Bye bye.